So welcome to Hash It Out. My name's Jake Stone. I used to be in a band called Blue Juice. Now I do all manner of things, one of which is hosting this podcast. Today's guests are two of my friends, probably of about 15 years now, collectively, Dave Rennick and Dan Mack. Dave Rennick, on camera left, is the singer and guitar player in Dappled Cities, formerly Dappled Cities Fly, a Sydney band who've been around for a long time, put out a lot of records, and are on the verge of releasing their fifth record, aptly titled 5, or Stroke, 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 depending on how you want to read it. And to his right is Dan Mack, the singer and guitar player in Art vs. Science, a festival favourite around Australia. And he's just come off the tour from doing a hot tub time machine around the country, or hot tub wine machine in this case.
What does that mean?
It's hot tub time machine, but at wine vineyards.
It doesn't
play on words.
Doesn't clear anything up.
Oh, I see. Well, to take it back another level, Hot Tub Time Machine is a DJ video outfit, a bit like Sampology.
Oh, yeah.
Except it starts at 1955 with the birth of rock, and then goes all the way through the present day. So it's quite a cool concept.
Yeah, and he just basically mixes bangers from every era.
Yeah.
And it seems to work, and it works well enough to be able to pull 12,000 people.
12,000 people?
At almost every capital, like maximum, let's say 12 to 20,000 people at every capital city around Australia.
What about Canberra?
It was a max of 12.
Yeah, okay.
I think Hunter and Yarra Valley had 12 maybe, or it was Hunter and some other one had 12. The others had about like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. All
right.
It was big bloody thing.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
Pinal supported, Miami Horror.
It was Pinal's first gig in like 6 years.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine the money that he would be making to be able to set up a gig whereby he basically brings Pinal back from not touring.
Yeah.
And has a series of really big name acts, and then also pays all of you guys to do that. It's a big show.
It might have been the perfect timing because Pinal hadn't done anything for ages, and they had this single which was blowing up.
Chameleon.
But because they weren't like at the height of their touring schedule, they might have been able to offer him something not as much as they would have had to.
But they must have
6 years
known.
ago. Yeah,
they must have known, because Chameleon is a huge song, and it's been enormous since kind of the later part of last year when it crept into, like, it should have been higher in the Hottest 100. I can play that song 4 times a night if I'm DJing.
Yeah.
And people will lose their minds.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
So was
Haven't heard it.
Oh, you'll like it then. Honestly.
I've been busy.
Yeah, fair enough. Don't worry.
Yeah, you've been expelling music, not sucking it in.
Not absorbing it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because you're on the verge of putting out a single now, and that looks like it's getting premiered on KCRW, which is a pretty big deal for almost any band, but let alone a band that have been around for a long time and to some degree not inactive, but kind of haven't put out anything in a while.
It's been 5 years of inactivity. Yeah. Not on purpose. It was just that...
How do you know? You just didn't turn up to
And
rehearsal on
set your
Tuesday and
watches,
it's continued
everyone,
on.
5 years.
We're off.
Okay. See you, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes, in 5 years.
Yeah.
Might see you around for a beer or something. It's an interesting experiment, I should say, guys.
It's a lonely old time for us. You're my best friends. Goodbye.
Yeah.
The next one, let's do a different approach.
We didn't... my point is we didn't mean to take 5 years.
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're like... It's just that it takes that long to make a record. Firstly, it takes a year or two to decide like that you want to make a record.
Okay. I was about to dispute that it takes 5 years as a standard, but it does sometimes.
And then it, well, this is our new timetable.
Okay.
And then it takes 2 years to make the record.
Yeah.
And then apparently it takes a year to release the record.
Okay. So why was the 2 years needed to discuss why you were going to do it? Because you'd made so many albums thus far, and you've gotten to a point where you're like, okay, well, what are we even trying to do now? Is that the...
Well, it's just tough to maintain. I mean, we're an Australian indie band. There is a ceiling to being an Australian indie band.
Yeah.
So
Is it a glass ceiling?
No, it's not glass.
Is it like the ceiling in the Spike Jonze movie where they all have to crouch in being done up,
a little
and they
bit.
can't stand
Yeah,
up
it's like
very well?
what's the seventh and a half?
Yeah.
Seventh and a half.
Yeah.
Half
The
floor.
floor, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It is a bit like that in
That's the
Australia.
Australian indie rock floor.
When we
Yeah,
were
that's what
talking
we
about
all
day
do.
jobs and stuff, it's like everyone's always had to have one, because I've known both of you since, the inception of both of your bands. And that for Dappled was 2001 as far as I remember it.
Yeah. Well, that's our official inception. Yeah.
It's quite a long time ago. And for you guys, it wouldn't have been too much further along, 2004, 2005?
We started Roger Explosion in 2002, me and Jim.
Okay.
And then that, changed into Art vs. Science in about 2008 or 2007.
Sure.
Or it like ended. Or it sort of went off into a, should we do anything more? We're playing to 50 people a night.
Yeah, yeah.
Working really hard. Bass player went overseas.
And you're like, I guess we've broken up.
We're like, he was like, should I go? Like, are we doing anything? I was like, nah, go. We're like, this is, we're not doing anything.
So you'd reached that point with Roger Explosion that to some degree Dave was kind of talking about with Dappled, where you gotten to the point where it's not that you're playing, I mean, Dappled were never playing to 50 people, but it was more just like, okay, we've done this for a while. There's a certain point at which we have to continue to work and do what we're doing in our lives.
Yeah.
And until we feel compelled to put out something creative, maybe we don't need to spend the money and keep pushing it, trying to succeed as a band all the time, which is what bands do. Once you're in the process of rehearsal and release is always an attempt to get something somewhere into some kind of position, I guess.
Yeah, look, you get to your 5th record and the pressure is just so off. It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to your 4th record and the pressure is quite intense.
Yeah.
And the 5th one, you're like, we can just do whatever we want now. We're sailing the happy seas.
That's it.
And that's what it appears to be. And that's why I ask, particularly with the KCRW thing. Well, that's my point, because, when you do that, when you go, fuck it, a lot of bands, especially a band like Dappled, who've always been revered as an art rock band, have had a core audience of people who've loved them because they were an intellectually and artistically capable band for whom finding a commercial niche in Australia was a challenge.
It was a real square peg round hole scenario.
Yeah, not for lack of fans and interest, just because it is a small population and what you're doing isn't deliberately putting you in a pop position all the time. So now what seems to happen to those bands is they get to a certain age and then they go, actually, we don't need to worry about any of that stuff. And that's often when they experience like some success, because if you're shopping a single to KCRW, that's a natural home for that type of music, and it's also a great opportunity.
Sure, yeah.
Do you see it?
I just think your measure of success, our measure of success, has certainly changed. I mean, we're a band who's been able to do everything we could have ever dreamed of. Like Harper Science, getting on festivals, touring internationally, radio play. That's everything you could ever dream of when you're starting out as a band. But now. Those things aren't even like what I define as success. Personally, I just want people to hear the record, and I just want our fans to hear this record. That's success to me at this point.
Yeah, and that's an incredibly healthy way to look at it. And maybe I know this is going to sound a bit hippie-ish, but maybe the universe responds to some degree to good intentions.
Well, sure. I mean, I think in
populations do.
Yeah.
Which might be.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah.
But
entire populations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're getting a premiere on particularly that radio station in the States, there's a lot of people who listen to that radio station, and that single will get exposed. And is that through Dangerbird? Is that the relationship that you continue?
I don't know. No, it's not through Dangerbird. We're not with Dangerbird anymore. I'm not sure how he heard of it, but I'm happy he did.
So that's even crazier. So now some random with no PR in the US has picked up the single to be premiered on a station that...
It's all on the internet these days, Jake. One thing I've learned about releasing records, having not released a record in 5 years, is how important the internet is.
Yeah. So where did you put it? What did you...
On the internet.
Okay, but that doesn't give me specifics enough. Maybe we should put this podcast in the same spot.
Well, it obviously just got emailed somewhere or someone tweeted it.
Yeah, gotcha. And that found KCRW's ears. But they've recently done King Gizzard, live shows with King Gizzard, and
we've got a history in the States, so I think there's some, there's a bit of a community, a Dappled community there in LA.
Right.
So I don't know, they'll probably.
That's why I figured
chatting. Yeah.
And they were like, we like this band. This band are interesting. They're doing a thing. Mm-hmm. How would you characterize the difference of the record from what you've done before?
Well, it is very relaxed, and with that sense of being, free and relaxed comes space in the music. So there's no, with this record, there hasn't been a need for all of us to throw every single idea that we have, because between 5 dudes, you can come up with heaps of ideas.
Yes.
Yeah, times that by 3, you get 15 different lines.
Yeah, and so often songs are best for what's not on them, for the space that you leave for people just to understand it and become absorbed in it, you know, the negative space.
The funny thing is that everything that you're saying, Dave, makes it sound like it's going to be a pop record. Which means that it's even more poised
Well,
to do
let
something
me
good.
fix that impression, because
Okay.
it was also a completely live recorded record.
Which is something that Art
No
vs.
way.
Science do as their bread and butter.
Predominantly live.
Yeah.
Overdub, but
Yeah.
it was,
Okay.
we went into a big studio, which you never do these days.
Yeah.
Like, you just do it on on a MacBook. Or
Yeah, you're
these
the-
days, right?
Dribble little.
Here's a little idea.
Pretty much.
Dan Mack's trying to imply that small things on a laptop can become large in software production.
So the whole soundscape is just.
But they were able to vomit in Technicolor everywhere
Yeah,
because they were in
Yeah,
a
it
nice
was
big
loud
place.
in real life.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You're actually going.
Really?
"Wah!"
Yeah,
Instead of
exactly.
going, having to actually make a big thing smaller rather than a small thing bigger.
Yeah. I
So
guess
why did you decide to do that? Just for the fun of playing?
Yeah. I mean, because it was at Studio 301 in Byron Bay,
Sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
which is a Mackin studio.
Yeah.
And we wanted the beach, and we wanted something that we could get out of Sydney, but
Yep.
stay in Australia. And we wanted a big studio, and we wanted a pool, and we wanted a apartment, and we got
And a helicopter.
Yeah. Why didn't you just... Yeah,
$10,000.
exactly.
and
What is going on in Dappled Cities
Non-sequential
Fly?
bills.
Like, how is this possible? I don't understand. Oh, is it because of the old DJ, the day jobs we referred to earlier? Is that
the
part
Because
of
they took someone ransom.
it? Yeah. How did you find the record? Because
did
it
we
sounds
fund
like an
it?
expensive thing to do.
We started recording this record when we didn't have a label, didn't have a manager, didn't even have a booker.
Right.
We sort of wiped the slate clean after the fourth record
Yeah.
for a variety of reasons. So it was all on our own backs. What we did, weirdly enough, to fund the record was we played some shows.
Ah.
We played
I
5
see, I
shows,
see.
made some money.
Yeah, gotcha.
Funded the record. It's just
Yeah.
it's like being in the 70s again.
Yeah, yeah. But somehow you did 5 shows, and that made you enough money to make an entire album and live in a place with a pool. What fucking shows were you doing? What is going on?
It wouldn't have been like that in the 70s.
Yeah, we were going to talk about how Sydney's live
We just
music.
played 5 shows.
What the fuck? The whole
No one heard
conversation.
of those shows though. They were some. Well, they were good shows, but
Were they corporates? Were
no,
you doing?
yeah, there was one corporate, like
Yeah.
paying,
So there's one
money
that paid
gigs.
and
Yeah,
and then 4 other ones who got paid in booze.
And my
And
question.
one which paid like
My
thousands
question
of
is, though, we're going to talk a little bit about how Sydney's changed, and to some degree also how the live music scene has changed and shrunk and morphed a little.
I feel like putting on my
Yeah, and maybe it's become more difficult to play and make a living as a musician, but for Dappled, apparently, just crank out 5 gigs and you can make a record and it'll just go to LA and it's all good. So,
I think the universe has responded.
yeah, I feel like that's all I
Yeah.
wanted to say, but then I kind of felt like it was too mystical to bring it up. But it is sort of like a positive headspace thing to some degree for the band. You know, it's like a right level of maturity, right time, right age kind of feel for that record to come out.
It's just a good attitude.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, just we had a saying during the recording. A saying. It's not a saying.
It's a
And a
saying to
fable.
you.
We had 2 actually. One of them was "I'm not worried,"
Yeah.
and the second one is "Don't get desperate." between those two sayings, we managed to put it all together. So when someone was like, "I really want to, I really want to cut this bit," it's like, "Cut it, man! I'm not worried."
But don't get desperate.
Yeah.
Because you're desperately trying to cut this bit, it's going to suck.
I just feel like it's like, oh, it's not quite. I don't know. Is it like it's good? But
Don't get
I
desperate.
don't know
worried.
because we've been in that situation where you have like a label pumping heaps of money
Yeah,
into
yeah.
a record, and you got a month in the studio,
Absolutely.
and everyone's coming over and
Checking
listening to your
out
songs
mixes
and being
and-
like,
yeah.
"Oh, that's the hit, dude. That's the hit," and it really affects you, not in a positive way in terms of, you know, being an artist and writing a good song.
Absolutely.
I think, and being a musician, to be specific, and just like playing like all carefree and like, yeah, cool. That's
That's
because that's
exactly
our natural state, you know.
Yeah.
as a
To be
musician.
cool.
as humans.
As humans.
Yeah,
You know, as
and as
children.
creatives, certainly, if you're like feeling out what you're doing in the process of playing, you need to be able to look over at your friends and without any overarching budget concerns, say "nice lick" or something.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's weird.
Yeah, and I'm not meaning to neg out on the industry at all. I just
No,
mean,
no,
I
I
just
know
mean
exactly
that, I
what
just
you're
mean
talking
that as a 24-year-old dude making this record with all this kind of pressure behind you,
Because you were
it
signed
sends
and you had to deal with an LA label, and there was a period of time where you were trying to push in the same way that AVS has, and a lot
you're
of bands
just
have.
You're trying to get famous. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna get famous, and it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't make you produce the best work, I guess.
I don't think so either. And even if you were producing your best work, you have to do it out from under that coil of fear and anxiety that someone else has given you money and they're going to turn up. And that it's their fear and anxiety, really. Like, I remember Paul Patico coming into the recording for the second album and listening to a bunch of tracks in BJB. And when Broken Leg came on, he was like, well, at least you got that one right. And I was like... That is some negging. That is some... It's not that I don't agree with you and I do think it's funny, but at the same time, that's a hell of a thing to say to us now.
Yeah.
I mean, it turned out he was completely correct. It was the only right moment on that album.
I mean, that's where the industry is quite helpful.
Yeah, it was right
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
at the time.
The fresh ears factor.
But,
labels
yeah.
and things.
You can't help but stress about management and stuff, and everybody's opinion gets into your head like it's a worm. There can be parasitic elements to the way that you're working.
Yeah, you have to have a healthy immune system.
I don't.
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for that stuff exactly. What
Yeah.
about you? How do you keep AVS free of, that kind of...
Care.
Yeah.
And what I'm fretting.
You're not a very worried guy.
Oh, I can be. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Same. Like, it's hard. Basically it's hard. Well, our next approach is to, basically, going to write an album's worth of stuff and release a single from somewhere.
Yeah.
We've got tons of shit recorded now, and then tour off the back of that single with all this new stuff, which is so simple and so easy to hear first time that it's gonna compete with our old
sure.
stuff, like Confidence Man. They're all their
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
We saw him live. I saw him live a few weeks ago, and it's just so simple and fun. And so we'll write a whole bunch of that, and then record it after the tour once we've fleshed everything out and stretch bits and cut bits.
Okay.
And it's all vibing, and we know how to play it really easy, and then we'll hit some analog tape.
Yeah, so it's an album tour before the album is released to determine what's on the album in a way.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it because, we're live bands, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you gotta figure them out how they're gonna work live.
Yeah.
And then that's probably the best way they're gonna work recorded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because they always get changed. Like, you record them and then you go on tour and you're like,
And you're like,
oh,
you
yeah,
need
need
to
to
change the beat now.
Yeah.
That could have been...
Because it's
that
really
thing I was
slow.
thinking of was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas live, on the night, we should say, let's make this one go twice as long. And you go,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
then you try it, and you've got a whole crowd of people who are nodding or going or
Yeah,
yawning
totally.
or frowning.
But isn't it interesting that you feel more comfortable with that whole crowd of people nodding or potentially yawning than one A&R guy going,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like, man. And
Well, fair enough too, because they don't, and also
But
because
sometimes they do.
yeah, they said they
unfortunately.
definitely do, perhaps occasionally in the studio process, but it depends on how good the person is, and it depends on what their ulterior motive is for listening. It's like sometimes your managers
Keep their
literally
job.
sometimes they're listening because they got to make money and stuff, and they're like, is this the money thing? Whereas
Yeah.
they don't always they're not always going to know what the money thing is. It's just hard to tell.
Andy Bull said that about... am I allowed to say? Anyway, he said they're great for... I'll just say it anyway.
bleep it out.
He said
It's the internet.
it's an
no one's gonna hear
absolute cunt. And this guy,
Yeah,
he can suck my balls.
Andy Bull's a cunt.
This is all live, guys.
Yeah.
No, he said they're great for helping you pick singles,
Okay.
which is probably what you need help in anyway.
Yeah, I think he might be right in the sense that you get married to, what you think is going to be the driving force because it's the catchiest thing in your mind in general at the time, or maybe it's a song that you fell in love with.
And it's probably going to be the thing you like playing live most as well.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
People like it.
Yeah.
So.
But isn't that, as Dave's saying, wouldn't that just then be right?
Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
By definition.
Yeah, I guess people
Best
seem to
song
be enjoying
playing,
this one.
Best song band play live. Best song band.
I see. Yeah. People tend to over-intellectualize the music
That is the
industry.
message.
It's really caveman
That's the
levels of
absolute
reasoning.
We're going to go back to like that message in chord form as well, which is like 1, 4, 5, or like
Oh, yeah.
5, 4, and 1.
Was there do you feel like you got a bit jazzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard not to get jazzy when Tame Impala's blowing up all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
chord's
And you're
got
like, oh,
some
shit,
sort of
I've got a
6 or 7.
Yeah. Tell me about
Or
it.
like or more, or
Jazz-
6s
I
and
mean,
7s and
jazz
2s.
is coming back in.
Yes.
Like it really is.
Yeah.
You know, where punk rock destroyed jazz in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Punk rock made jazz rock uncool. R.I.P. Steely Dan for a little while.
Yeah, hey.
And
One of my favorites.
and then punk came in and everyone's like, yeah, it's cool to be shit. Cool shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just say,
Yeah.
And now it's coming back in that like to do like this is like cool again.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
swear it's coming back in.
No, I agree, because
Jazz.
Thundercats are vibe. You know, the... Well, Kendrick Lamar is kind of
Exactly.
very jazzy.
Sure,
and
yeah.
Thundercats, his
Matt
musical producer.
Cosby.
Cosby?
Matt Colby.
Here's
Chappelle
my
Cosby.
name's Matt Cosby, and here's my new song, Revolution.
Matt Cosby.
Matt Cosby. Hey, 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 it's Matt Cosby. I'm here to rape some girls.
When he does that, sounds like it could be a little bit like related to Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Nobody
With
wants
Sam Grunt.
nobody wants to say that they're related to Bill Cosby in the world ever again. That's not. It's a deeply insulting thing now because of his
Yeah.
serial rape
Our
status.
thoughts out to the Cosbys
Yeah.
around the globe.
Yeah, people who are related to that evil man.
Pass me a beer. I have to.
Yeah, I was going to get one too, actually.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
No, it's
I'll
confirmed.
drink to that.
Oh.
Just put your complaints in the comments below.
Yeah.
I know that none of these jokes are particularly appropriate.
Does this podcast get edited, or is this just, are we just
No,
off?
we'll edit it, but we'll edit in all of this stuff.
I'm saying I don't want to edit it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, fair enough. I
And no apologies. If anyone says anything, no one's apologizing. All right.
Warts and all.
I think that's. I don't really want to edit it either, Dave. So
Okay, good. Yeah.
No.
we'll see how we go. It just depends because the Rogan podcast is 3 hours, and that's our, that's our inspiration. But
You
we
might
won't.
need to repeat some sections on this one.
Yeah, we're not going to be going for that long. But the idea is to have an unexpurgated chat to some degree. But there'll be some expurgation.
What does expurgate mean?
It sounds like it means to vomit, but I think it means to
Expunge.
reduce.
Yeah.
Deliberately misrepresent your views.
Escapade.
Tim has the internet and will occasionally clarify what words and things mean. He'll make references and
Have we needed to fact check anything thus far?
just expurgate.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Can someone fact check something just for fun?
I'm on gates.com right now and there's nothing.
What is gates.com?
Bill Gates.
Yeah, is it Bill Gates'
No,
word
it's
finder?
just about like garden gates,
Okay.
doorway entrances.
Tim's
outdoor.
building a house. So obviously the conversation hasn't been riveting, to use a building pun. He's not building a house, it's just, I don't know, fuck you. Anyway, so now we're old,
Yep.
okay?
Not that old though. Come on, we're like less. We're less
I'm
than
older than
halfway
you.
through our life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are less than
In
halfway through our
theory.
lives.
Yeah.
But we're still
Potentially.
musicians.
We don't know.
Or, yeah, we could die on the way home from here.
Yeah.
Realistically, it's a fucking terrifying thought. But if we don't, and that doesn't happen, fuck you, Dave. Fuck that. Now I'm thinking about getting hit by a car, like wandering out here and getting
I was
like.
imagining a lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's a nice
Hand
way to
of
go.
God.
Sudden.
Yeah.
How would you die? How do you want to die?
Just heaps and heaps and heaps of painkillers. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Opiate
Which
ones.
Yeah.
implies a choice.
Yeah.
Where do you
not
stand
funny.
on euthanasia, guys?
Funny concept.
No, it's an interesting concept because that's the way I think. I talked to my sister about this once, Alana, and she said that she would like to be eaten by a shark, and I said that is the most nightmarish thing I can possibly imagine. And why would you want that to happen?
You'd
and
never
she,
have a closer encounter with nature.
Well, she was like, it'd be epic that was happening.
It'll be epic.
Hurt. It would hurt so much.
That's
No,
Dave.
all the adrenaline would kick in. You
Fast-
just feel this bang. Then you're like, what? Like trying to poke it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting tired.
Keep going.
Then you're dragging up like, oh, this is it. I think this is it. Oh,
And you're almost there.
suck in some water.
Yep.
Then it's like dragged down. Then you're like,
So it's just a kind of like flow. The blood would just flow out.
the
you'd
blood
go,
flow out.
"Oh."
You'd drown at the same time.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not so bad, but in the initial part of it, and Dave,
Sorry, I'm just losing.
I'm glad. Go for it. But I'm glad that Dave brought
What
this
a
up.
rush, though.
Well, that exactly. See,
Yeah.
two different personalities here, and I'm with Dave on it because I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to have to look down at my dying moment and see my leg just ragged and just pissing blood into the water, and I'm terrified whilst essentially a lion attacks me and rips me apart. Like, kind of fuck you for making me die that way. Like,
You'd be so alert and so awake. You'd be
too
like-
awake.
Yeah.
Too awake.
you'd be
Just
like,
get on my neck in my
The
sleep.
sun's never looked brighter. Oh my
Down
God,
here.
this thing I'm leaving.
I guess you're
I
right.
wonder what my family... No, you wouldn't even have time to go through that.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I just want to die. I just don't want to have to think about... There's been no time where a violent... Like, say, for example, where you almost have a car accident, and then you think about the car accident that would have been.
I almost died the other day.
What?
I was very close to dying.
What happened?
I was getting a massage from this, like, hectic dude
Yeah.
who was doing, like, fucking...
Yep.
Because it's like at the end of like a 3-day
Who was
bender.
doing fucking kung fu on me, and then I'm like, this is pretty wild. And then it got to the point where he's like sitting me up, and then did the neck twist.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the really, really fast one.
Right.
And
Like
I was
that.
Like, yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? and I
those
realized that I was actually very close to dying at that point. Like,
No
like in actual, you can measure how close I
Oh,
was
you
to
mean
dying.
like it's like a
Like
centimetre
in
of
terms
difference?
of
Yeah,
the physical
yeah.
world.
Like you could
absolutely.
feel it.
It was about half a centimetre.
No, you're
I
right.
reckon.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Because he
I've
could have
been
cranked that
half
one
a
little
centimetre
bit
away
more.
from dying.
I guess it's not the same, but it is. Did you turn around and say to him, "You almost killed me"? Were you crying?
Yeah, I mean, then he gave me a hand job and it was all good.
Because everybody, when you say you've been to a masseuse, just immediately assumes that it's a sex massage. And then even in the massage, you start thinking, is this a sex massage? Because you don't usually get massages and it's weirdly intimate. I've thought
I
that.
usually
Yeah.
get massages.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a big massage kind of guy.
How often and why?
Maybe like once a month. I just find it a really. There's my girlfriend who like was like, we need to get
should
lots
do
of
this.
massages.
Yeah, girlfriends love
Okay.
massages.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So I'm down with massages.
I'm into it too, to be honest, because of boxing and kickboxing. If I don't go and do something that will make me feel better, I basically feel awful.
I was
No.
wearing shorts like
God,
yours.
we've really digressed. What were we talking about? Dying.
Yeah, dying. You got completely off track.
I was wearing shorts like yours and getting a massage in Bali,
Yes.
on a pool deck next to lots of people. A lot of years ago now, and just working like the back of my calves, which like I don't know if you've ever. When you get that bit, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
you
it's a
feel
weird
something
feeling.
like, you're like,
Very
oh,
sensitive.
and then like getting up a bit higher, and it's like, oh, so many sensations, and it was like, and then I was like, oh dear, I'm starting to get a boner.
Yeah, then you had to fight that thought for a long time.
Oh yeah, and it was like because they were so short.
Grandma's vagina, grandma's vagina!
Normally, it's like downwards facing, but like the short shorts, there was like a danger that it was going to sort of.
Come out.
Yeah.
Oh, God. The mouse would be just a little bit out of the house. And she would have seen the very most obvious tip
crawl
of
out of the burrow.
it. You know what I'm here for? You know what I want?
Hello.
No. There's no way to, like, deal with that, really. As a person, there's no way to go, oh, I see. Okay, well, you're just a little bit sexually attracted to me.
Or is that?
But it's a normal. I know you don't, because you know that you would be looking up like, this isn't right, and you'd be like,
I'm sure it happens all the time.
yeah, that's what
Oh
I mean.
yeah, they're used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they do?
I don't know. It's never happened.
Just jerk you
Thankfully,
off,
it was-
apparently.
Yeah.
Just This is business as usual, I think.
Yeah.
We just noticed the other two guests come in, so everybody got weird and thought, how are we going to wrap this up?
Should we wrap up the boner massage?
How to get out of it. Anyway, boner massage, touring.
Massage, touring, yeah.
Are you both going to be? You're about to do a tour. When does that start?
doing
Do you
a
want to
tour?
do a bit of promo?
Probably in September.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I think we haven't even written what we're going to tour yet,
All right.
but we've never had a firmer idea. You could almost say we have a boner.
Have you got dates yet?
No.
No, just September tour, Art vs. Science.
No, just
Keep an
a
eye out
dream.
for it.
But I got a dream, damn it.
It's very general. We haven't talked about any other member
September
of the band.
2017.
Go see him.
Yeah.
And Dave Rennick, what about you?
We have a tour next week. Mm-hmm. Melbourne. We're coming to Melbourne next week. When is this going up?
Not next week. They were just in Melbourne, so you should have checked them out if you got.
How was it?
Just after Melbourne, we were in Brisbane. Both of them sold out.
Sweet.
And
Any boobs in
then
the front row?
I think we're going to be playing Vivid soon.
Oh, great. Okay, let's promo that. So catch Dappled Cities at Vivid, the Vivid Festival in 2017 in Sydney, alongside a lot of other art and speaking events. Great place to see the band, and if you've never seen them before, you're going to be very excited because they have a new single and it's on KCRW soon, and it's called Space Child, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I did everything right. Okay, thanks for being here on this very first podcast. I had a great
Was that 3
time.
hours?
No, it was 45 minutes.
Okay, right. Just checking.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Just get up, man.
But where will we go?